Um, at this point, I can't even do an intro because I've tried to film this video like 4 or 5 times now. First time there was a fire truck. There was 3 fire trucks. Second time, my brother opened my door. Third time, my brother was yelling. At this point, I feel like we should just sell him, but my mom wants to keep him. So, but in this video, I don't know what I'm gonna title this, honestly, but I'm basically going to be talking about my physical state right now, and maybe my emotional state. We'll see how the video goes, but I know that other YouTubers come on here and they're cheerful and they have their intro and their video is like consistent energy across the board. You are not going to get that from my channel. I'm just letting you know that from now. I told myself that I do not want to come on here acting like, oh, things are fine, or like, you know, it's shits and giggles, because it's not. My overall goal is to always provide relatable content, entertainment sometimes, but not at the expense of my integrity and myself. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start from kind of the beginning. So if you didn't know, back in June of this year, 2020, I started being in a wheelchair, and I had a month of rehabilitation, physical therapy, and occupational therapy as an inpatient in my hospital for a month, and I was also in the hospital within itself for 2 months straight, from May till June. I'm not gonna get too much into like the medical aspect of it because it's still very like up in the air kind of, and I don't really want people chiming in their like medical opinion into it. Like, this is more so gonna be me attempting to express how I feel and kind of give out some information at the same time ish. But yeah, so I just came back from my physical therapy doctor, and basically I was told it's an unrealistic expectation for me to think that I will return back to my normal ability of walking. I've seen and spoken to these doctors before, and it wasn't like a big secret, but it was just like, I don't know what it was like. Sorry, I don't have the perfect words right now, but just I'm gonna explain from, like I said, like my attempting to to explain from my point of my emotions. Some hope was like definitely lost today, as far as what I thought my future would look like, and not just in a physical sense, but in a like a sense of achievement, accomplishment aspect. I think, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm like all over the place and I'm not making any sense. Just in the sense of, my biggest thing was that having cancer really didn't, I don't want to say it didn't bother me, but it was just like, okay, this is something that has happened to me. I've accepted it. What do I need to do? I need to go to chemotherapy? Okay. I need to go to radiation? Okay. I need to get labs done every month? Fine. Like, I didn't mind doing those things because they didn't affect my everyday life. Does that make sense? So when I was doing radiation at the beginning of my treatment, you know, I would go literally every day, never missed a day, and I would go lay on this big machine for 15 minutes, and then I would leave, and then that would be that, literally that. So I could go about my day, I could go to school, most of the time I came home and laid down and watched TV the whole entire day, and I didn't care, like, because it didn't affect like literal everyday life. Does that make sense? Whereas now I'm having to make real life adjustments to a disability I now have that I did not have growing up, or I did not have like at an early stage of my life. I'm 19. I spent my life walking. Like, you know what I mean? And also, if you didn't know, it's not like it was a secret or anything. Like, if you saw me, you saw me. But I didn't make it a point to like be telling people. It's not like something you should have known. I wasn't embarrassed. Like, it was like, no, it was like, what I'm trying to get a point across is like, it's no like secrecy, it's no shame or anything. It was just like, you don't really like point those kind of things out. If people know, they know. And a lot of you guys, like my supporters and stuff, you guys were like shocked to like find out that I was in a wheelchair, or that some of you guys were like, oh, that's why she's always sitting down. No, I was not born this way. This has recently developed this year, like April and forward. This has been happening. Like, I lost the ability to walk. That's really what it was. And it was due to radiation and chemotherapy being too harsh and causing nerve damage to my cells, and eventually causing me to have immobility. That's what it is, polyneuropathy. I'll probably put a definition around here somewhere. I say that to tell you guys exactly what happened in the medical aspect. My whole like mission on this channel, and what I want to, the energy I want to give to you guys, is always hope and inspiration. And sometimes hope and inspiration has to come from devastation first. Do you know what I mean by that? In the sense of like, you know when they say it has to like rain before you can see the rainbow kind of thing. Like, something bad has to happen before you can even come to appreciate what you have or had. With that being said, you know, I'm not saying terrible things can't happen, but just, if you have any kind of ability, in the sense of like, you can walk right now, I can't. If you're cancer free right now, I'm not. you know, if even to breathe by yourself, somebody's on a ventilator right now, you know what I mean? Just be appreciative of what you have and what's going on. And I'm not saying, and when people say that, I'm not saying that in the sense of like, if something really bad and shitty is happening to you, something really bad and shitty is happening to you, and you have every right to express that and feel that and sit with that, because I feel like when you have cancer, in my experience, people like to do this thing where they try to like, oh, well, you know, at least you're not dead, or somebody has it worse than you right now. That's not a positive reinforcement. Like, I don't know what you think you're doing with that, or what you think. Like, yeah, it's true, but it's like, okay, but this really shitty thing is happening to me, and it's giving off dismissive vibes instead of listening to me, acknowledging, and like trying to like actually help me. You just like, okay, well, you know, you're not dead, so why you upset? You know what I mean? Don't do that. And if you have somebody who may be going through a similar situation as me, or, you know, even if it's like not, you know, as extensive as cancer, or not having the ability to walk, just try to listen and be there and just listen. Literally listen. Like, listening goes a long way. Sometimes people aren't looking to hear your opinion. Sometimes people aren't looking for your 2 cents. They just want to be heard and know that, okay, I'm not alone. I can express this. There's no shame in this. I think the biggest thing for me has been the lifestyle changes I've had to make in order to accommodate being in a wheelchair. Like, this is gonna sound so petty, but, you know, I used to like wearing really long nails. I love wearing long nails. If you know me, you know I used to get it in with the long nails. Okay, sis, the diamonds, the rhinestones, the butterflies, the 3D, I give it all. I love that. And it was like, it's like a part of expressing me. Like, when I go into the nail salon, and then me and, you know, my nail tech come up with something, and I'm like, yes, like, it's just like an extension of me, of my creativity. And being in a wheelchair, because I use my hands a lot, I use my upper body a lot, wearing long nails like that just isn't an option, because, you know, I have to be able to function. And I don't mind making changes. It's just, I'm somebody who I hate having options taken away from me. I don't like being backed into a corner at all. And lately I feel like I've been backed into a corner with not being able to walk. And even down to just, when you like look up like women in wheelchairs, you don't tend to see a lot of black women, let alone young black women. You don't see a lot of models in wheelchairs. You don't like, you don't see them, because there's no representation of it. You know, even now, I'm just noticing like different things when it comes to like other people. Like the other day I went to Walmart with my mom, and in order for me to get around in Walmart without exhausting myself, I have to, you know, those little, you know, scooters that, you know, typically like old people are on, or like, you know, disabled people are I would transfer over, use the scooter, get around the way I need to. I noticed like a Walmart employee came up to me and was basically like, hey, like, you know, those are for people, like old people, people with disabilities. And I'm like, I can't walk. And people think like, because there's nothing physically wrong with me, like right now, like if I didn't tell you guys like I wasn't walking or anything, you would think I'm perfectly healthy, there's nothing wrong with me. And we all know that not to be true. So it's like, you know, imagine what random people think. And my mom blacked, but that's besides the point. It was just like, why am I dealing with that? Like, you know what I mean? Just a newfound level of discrimination on top of being young and black and a woman. Or I'll notice also like going into like Costco and like those places is very like jam-packed, so there's a lot of people, and you know the carts are big, and it'll be like, in order for me to get around, sometimes I'll probably be in somebody's way, or like, you know, they have to wait for me to get by so they can get by, and people tend to be annoyed by that or make snarky comments, and it's like, that's a newfound reality for me, and I'm just struggling with processing that and accepting that. When it comes to adjusting my lifestyle in a major way, driving is a huge issue for me. If you didn't know, I had my license. I obtained my license when I was 18. I'm 19 now, but I've been driving since I was 16, and I always drove the regular way. It actually took me a long time to obtain my license because I, you know, have anxiety, and my biggest fear was I never want to hit anybody, hurt anybody. You know, driving is a big deal. Accidents happen every day, and I never want to be involved or responsible for that. So it took me a while to learn how to drive because I was just, you know, dealing with that. When I learned how to drive, it was such a big accomplishment, and when you learn how to drive, it's such a like newfound independence where it's like I can go anywhere I want to go, you know, even if you don't have your own car, you borrow your mom's whip, you know, whatever. It's like you now have a new skill where you can go anywhere you want to go. And learning now that sensation in my feet has gotten better since the beginning of me losing my mobility, but it's not enough where I can drive a regular car with my feet. So now one of the options is hand driving with hand gears, and that was so devastating to me because, like I said, it took me a while to learn how to drive, and it's like, hold on, so you gonna tell me I gotta do that again? You telling me like, it felt like, honestly, it feels like I learned how to drive for nothing. And in a way, it's like I already know how to drive, so it's not like I'm starting from scratch, but it's just like, damn, like, really? Like, really? Or even people simply like asking you, like, when you're like out and about, like I said, I wasn't born this way, and you know, I was walking before, so like when people see me, they're like, what happened? Like, oh my gosh. Like, and sometimes you don't always want to talk about it. You're not ready to share. And to my people who are experiencing this, or like just anything in life, like a tip in life, be careful who you share information with. Not everybody asking is asking from a place of concern. A lot of times people just want to know the tea. They just want to know what happened so they can tell somebody else, or like, you know, just be in the know. And it's like, get that out of here. Like, no. So if you're just finding out now, it wasn't a secret. I wasn't like trying to hide anything. I just, my business is my business, and that's on period. Okay. And I'm deciding to share now because I'm semi-ready. Semi-ready to, I'm not all the way there, but I'm taking, ooh. I'm not there yet, but I'm taking courage right now. It is taking courage for me to film this video. It is taking courage for me to edit this video, watch it back, and edit it. It is taking courage for me to upload it. So, you know, just be kind when you watch it. Now, I don't really know where I'm supposed to go from here as far as how to help and inspire you guys as far as like my physical disability, because if you've been on my channel for like a little minute, then you know I typically face things with optimism. And if you know me in everyday life, I typically face things with optimism, but this has been very difficult, and I think it hit a little closer to home today because you know, I was told, you know, it wouldn't be a realistic goal for me to think I'm going to be up and walking the way I used to be. And I don't really know how I'm going to cope with that, and let alone try to inspire you guys about it, because like I said, I want to be completely transparent on my channel. Like, it's shitty. It's real shitty over here. It's not fun over here. I'm not having a good time. Okay, but we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. And as I learn, I hope to teach you guys. If you learn, please teach me. We not gonna cry because that's gross, even though crying is healthy. But on the channel, nah. But I just wanted to let you guys know, like, what's up. Like, this is literally like a what's up kind of video. And I soon hit y'all with the positive vibes again. But to be very transparent with you guys, I really don't have positive vibes to give off. Not right now, at least. So